I'm like Lewis Hamilton. I didn't even turn on my mic. Good afternoon, Formula One fans. This is Manny Chang here from Hitting the Apex. Just wanted to go over a little bit the starting grid that has now been set in Saudi Arabia. I'm still going through Mercedes-Benz hangover a little bit. So guess who got first? It wasn't Max Verstappen. It wasn't Charles Leclerc. It wasn't Carlos Sainz. It definitely wasn't Lewis Hamilton. Sergio Checo Perez. Yeah, I don't think many of us had him starting first ever, right? So congratulations for him to him, his first ever starting first place. I think after last week's Red Bull debacle, we kind of expected Red Bull to come in here and to kind of put themselves back on the map. And despite Max's driving struggles, I believe in the later part of the day, Perez though seemed to be the most consistent Red Bull driver throughout the entire qualifiers. Obviously, we are going to get into Lewis Hamilton. I'm still trying to wrap my head around. We knew his car wasn't the best. I guess him and Russell's vehicle wasn't the best heading towards last week at Bahrain. And then, as a fan, I know that their mindset was already going towards Australia. They wanted to make sure that they get through this race, and then you get 2 weeks to prepare for that race. But for Lewis not to actually get disqualified in Q1, that was very, very disheartening. um, I believe it's the first time since what, '07 or '09 that Lewis Hamilton didn't even, that this has happened to him. And his first and only incident happened though, but was because of a car crash, or I'm sorry, a hit. Also, a little bit of an update on Mick Schumacher. He is in stable condition according to the official Haas Twitter. And Haas as well will not be running two vehicles tomorrow. They'll be only running one. So it's up to um, their lone driver there to see if he can get as many points. It's up to Kevin Magnussen to see if Haas can create another top 10 finish there. Very happy though that Mick was able to survive. Be able to walk away from that without any incident and things like that. So many things happened today in the qualifiers, but of course the most biggest shocker that if you're a Formula One fan for quite some time is that Lewis Hamilton disqualified in Q1, like not even in Q2 or three. Like he didn't even make top 10. So that's something to not think about, but to kind of realize that this Mercedes car is still not even up to par at all. I do see though my dear friend at the bottom, Alejandro, who's our main producer here at Five Reasons Sport, who I love to death. I am going to bring on. We don't really support a lot of the same teams or a lot of the same I guess players per se, right? Alejandro, I mean, I love Real Madrid. You like Barcelona. I like Mercedes. You like Red Bull. It's like we're all over the damn place, man. But hey, congrats to Sergio Checo Perez, man. His first ever time being first at a pole. You as a Red Bull fan, how do you feel, right? I mean, it's quite, I guess not that it's record breaking, but it's quite shocking, right? It's not Carlos Sainz, it's not Charles Leclerc, it's not Max Verstappen, and like I said in the beginning, it definitely wasn't Lewis Hamilton.
What's up, Manny? How are you? Two things. First, you're gonna be disqualified because of an early start. You started without me, so I'm gonna punish you for the next race. All right. And second, I'm
Well,
not a
thank God
Red
I got
Bull.
2 weeks to prepare myself because according to Mercedes, they couldn't even get their shit together in 1 week.
I'm not a Red Bull fan. I don't know where you get that from. I'm
Oh, okay. I'm
actually,
sorry.
yeah. No, it's because we were talking about Max Verstappen against Lewis Hamilton and what happened last season. And you know what? To be honest, I kind of get tired when the same team or the same person wins all the time. So I like a little bit of variability there. Sometimes some people win, sometimes other people win. That makes it a little bit fun. And what we're watching today in Formula One, I think it's better when you don't really know who's going to win the race. In the last couple of years, you were like, all right, Hamilton is going to be first, probably Valtteri Bottas is going to be second, and then you don't know what exactly is going to happen. I grew up actually being a Ferrari fan in the Michael Schumacher, Rubens Barrichello years.
Same
I
here.
actually, yeah, I actually went to the Sao Paulo Grand Prix with my aunt that lives there, and it was awesome. I remember it was that race. I don't know if you remember where they had so many crashes that Schumacher also crashed, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the
I remember.
Barrichello was winning, and then he ran out of fuel or something like that, and then he had to step out. So it was a crazy race and a rainy race before they moved Brazil to a different time in the calendar. So coming back to today's what we saw today, I mean, it's historic not because Checo Perez won it, but because Lewis Hamilton didn't even make it to the Q2. I think that's more news than actually Checo winning the actual pole because he's been close. I mean, he's up there. He's with Red Bull. We know. I mean, Ferrari. I thought Ferrari was going to take 1-2 when I was watching it live. It
Same
seemed
here.
that way, and then Checo came up in the last second and took it away. But I mean, it's pretty even. What I like about this season is that it looks pretty even. Even teams like uh, Aston Martin or even
AlphaTauri
Alpine, yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Alpine. Yeah.
They're look at Steph.
Or Haas, but
Yeah, yeah,
unfortunately
yeah, yeah.
Haas will. Unfortunately, with that, by the way, is like I said, Mick Schumacher, he walked away so far without any injuries, anything like that. The
Yeah,
Haas official Twitter has reported it, but Haas will still only be having one driver, one car for tomorrow.
yeah, and Magnussen is up there again in the top
Mm-hmm.
10. Even I don't know. I mean, I think McLaren is not where we were expecting.
No, they definitely improved though, Alejandro, from last week, right? Because last week you even had a Williams car ahead of Lando, and you're like, "What the hell's going on here?" But without question, though, they fixed their issues, and it's
Yeah,
quite disappointing to see that even an official Mercedes vehicle,
yeah.
not being able to qualify after Q1, right? Lance Stroll is the one that keeps you out of this. What?
Yeah, even
I don't
even
understand.
Mick Schumacher, his how many crashes does he have already in his early
Oh,
career, man? It's been unfortunate
yeah.
for him, and I mean, like you said, we're glad that he's okay and he walked away, and hopefully he's fine and he can race soon. But going back to the top four, I mean, for now it seems like it's going to be a Ferrari Red Bull matchup during the season. But you know what? Last year Mercedes didn't even have a good start either, and then they ended up fixing whatever was wrong with the car. Remember, I was watching Drive to Survive. I don't even remember. It was like 35 points. I think Max was ahead of Hamilton at some point for
I think it
the
was after maybe the ninth or 10th race
yeah. So
that
I
then
mean,
Lewis started to get it
yeah,
together and the whole
it's a
thing. So
long
yeah,
championship. So I
yeah.
know
It's
Mercedes.
23 races this year, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So
Mercedes fans are obviously upset with what's going on, but you know what? Take it easy. Take it easy because it's a
no, no,
long.
no. Well, here is my issue though, right? Because last week you saw the official Mercedes AMG Twitter handle
Yeah,
when both Red Bulls they just spun out, right? And so then they had a tweet. I seem to forget exactly what they said. And somebody replied to that tweet and said, "Be careful what you wish for." And look what happens to Lewis Hamilton today, right? It's just one of those coincidences. You're like, really? Like, I'm not saying that either one has to do with it, but it's quite disappointing though, right, to see a driver or say an athlete in this sport that has such and has accomplished so much. He gets disqualified in Q1, and it
yeah, but
hasn't happened to him since '07
yeah,
or '09, and that was because he crashed.
right. But
Like,
here's the thing with Formula One, and it happens in all sports. I mean, at some point, the champion is just gonna not perform in the same level. It happens, and it's normal. But in Formula One, it's tricky because it depends so much on what's going on with the car, with the actual car, and it's not even the abilities of the driver. I mean, of course, it's a little bit of a mixture of everything, but I mean, most of the time, it's just who has a better car, who's up there because they are the better driver with the better car. That's actually what it is. That's why this is a team sport. It's not that Lewis Hamilton is a poor driver now. I mean, he's one of the greatest drivers in Formula One
mm,
history. It's just that I mean, the car is not working for him right now. That's the reality of it.
yeah.
I mean, it's not like I know you guys are sad because Mercedes is not performing the way they should
Well,
be.
we're not sad.
No,
We're
you
the
are
ones
sad,
that
man. You have to
hold on,
accept
hold on,
your
hold on,
feelings,
hold on,
man.
hold on. Now you're now
Get
you're
it, let it
now you're
out,
just
man.
putting
Let it
words
out.
into
I'm
our mouth.
sad.
No,
It's
no, no,
okay. I'm
no, no. It's not that
disappointed.
we're
It's
sad.
it's
Listen,
fine.
listen, listen. I'm actually after a couple of hours. I'm not sad. By the way, Nick Alvarez, thank you for joining. He's up top, right? I think though this is why you went out there and got a Russell, and to
Mhm.
see now what this guy has, what this young driver has. Last week, he didn't do so well in qualifying, but then in the first race, he was able to jump up 3, 4 spots and he finished top 10, right? And then all of a sudden, in today, he had the better vehicle than Lewis Hamilton, and he finishes sixth, right? So those are things that maybe going forward, if you are a Mercedes fan, you might be looking at the future of Mercedes going forward. Not saying Lewis Hamilton is leaving anytime soon, but for definite sure, you want to see what this kid has. You want to see if when the pressure, because now the pressure is really on, right? Hamilton's in 16th. I'm not saying he can't get top 10, but a lot of things
No,
gonna have to
I mean,
he will
happen.
we've
get
seen him
top
Lots
10.
go
of
from 20th to first. So
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I'm just
I
I'm
mean,
just
Hamilton's
saying
gonna
I'm
be in
just
the
saying
top
the
10.
way that Ferrari is right now, the way that
Yeah,
Red Bull is right now, I don't think I've ever seen two teams start so damn like wanting to be up there at the top. Like Alejandro, you even said it. Carlos Sainz was gonna make pole, was
yeah.
gonna be
It
first.
looked like it. Yeah,
Charles Leclerc knew this. What does he do on his final lap? Kills them. What does Checo see this? He's like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? I want to
don't
get
you
first.
forget about me, pretty much.
Yeah,
Everyone
basically.
was talking about Verstappen, Leclerc, and Sainz, but everyone forgot about Checo.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nick,
And
so
then look what he does.
I don't know who's your team. I think it's Mercedes, is it or what?
No, I am unfortunately. Well, my favorite team is Team McLaren because I'm a big
Okay,
Daniel
okay,
Ricciardo fan. I also really
okay,
like Lando Norris and Zach Brown as their CEO, team
okay.
principal. Uh,
Now going back to McLaren, and I told Alejandro this, like it's quite
so
impressive.
disappointing.
11 and 12. Like last week, it looked like the car could not be fixed, and it looked like Daniel Ricciardo once again had some bad luck, right? And then now it seems like you guys can actually get at least one or two up in the top 10 and get points.
Right. I mean, it's definitely an improvement from last week, considering how bad they were in qualifying and then how bad they were in the totality of the race. But I think considering how they were last year and the year before, this is still, this is still a step down for them.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, coming from being the third team and then now being, I mean, way back. Okay, well, hi everyone. I just wanted to say that I'm okay. Thank you for the kind messages. The car felt great. Well, I didn't feel that great the last one, but okay.
Now, one thing to keep and watch, guys, for tomorrow. I think it was Alonso or it was Ocon and
Hmm.
another driver in the same apex section that Mick lost control. You can see these cars, like these drivers just want to skip it. They don't want to go over the track. They want to go over the apex to be able to gain more of a forward speed. Where
Yeah,
he had his accident, tomorrow might be something to watch for that final turn, heading towards the final stretch.
yeah. There are probably gonna
See
be a
how many
couple of
cars. Yeah.
yellow flags there. I mean, it's so
Yes.
close that they're going
Yes.
by so close to the thing that it's probably
Mhm.
gonna happen tomorrow.
It's a very thin track as far as the width of like the road is, and so because of that, there's not a lot of room for error. And even if you make the slightest mistake, it can put you in the wall.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Ooh.
What
Hold
happened,
on. We
Manny? We
got
have
we
breaking
have
news.
some news here. We have some news here. It involves a
Oh,
McLaren.
Penalty,
Sorry, Nick.
penalty.
Yes, penalty on Ricardo. He's been given a 3 place grid penalty for impeding Ocon. So that's what Ocon was complaining about in the
Okay,
end. I mean, three spots, right? So he goes from 12, three
to
15.
spots, 50. Oh wow! So he goes to 16th.
Still in front of Hamilton, Manny.
Still okay. Okay, so 50. Damn you, bro. That's not even what I wanted to get to,
uh,
I mean, they're gonna
but
be
yeah,
right by each other. So a little reminder
yeah.
of what
So
happened at some point.
that's
Yes.
that's still not good.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's early. I know it's just the beginning of the season, and some teams start slow and then they charge on during the middle and end of the year. But at the same time, it's still, you know, it's concerning right now.
yeah, guys. Now getting a little bit away from the race. Last night, these drivers and teams probably didn't even go to bed till 5, 6 a.m. because they were having a discussion whether they should continue the race or not.
Hmm.
I know our man Jazz, he put up a poll on our Twitter at Hitting the Apex, and I voted that the race should be postponed. That's just me. I've seen too many things in my lifetime that I feel like are more important than either playing a game or watching a race. I don't blame the drivers to feel that their safety is in question here, right? I mean, no offense, you're in another remote location, all you have is your team. Yes, you have all the money in the world to get the hell out of there, but at the same time, is it worth the risk? Do you guys agree that the race should be going on? Alejandro, I'm gonna go with you first, and then Nick, you
Yeah,
may
I
answer it
voted. I
too.
voted yes as well. It should have been canceled or not
Canceled.
canceled, but
Yeah,
postponed. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a matter of safety. If I don't know why. I mean, of course they probably had, I don't know, 20 meetings after what happened and making sure that safety was a concern. But I mean, still, I mean, it was so close. That attack was so close to the actual track that I mean, it could have been. It could have been like. Hopefully, nothing happens tomorrow. But I mean, it's dangerous. That's what it is.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nick.
I mean, I think they probably should have at least postponed the race. But the thing with Saudi Arabia, um, it's very hard to tell them no for some reason.
We found that
Um,
out real quick.
yeah,
We found-
and even if even if they were to postpone the race, like there was even an article in BBC yesterday that said, who knows, maybe the drivers couldn't have even left the country. Who would,
oh,
so pretty much
wow.
they could have held them hostage until you'd be like, okay, it's safe to race, you can go now.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I don't like to weigh in a lot of things like this because one, I'm not a politician, and two, I really don't know what other rules and regulations. But I'm sorry, if I am a family member of a person that's driving in Formula One in this particular country, and I see an explosion, the first thing on my mind is why the hell are we racing, right?
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, if they say the race is on, the race is on. You can postpone it all you want. You can have meetings till 6 a.m. But if it's quite clear that money here talks, it's
yeah.
quite
Hmm.
clear that they want this race to occur. It's not if it's going to happen later on. It's going to happen tomorrow.
And I
And
remember,
it's,
Manny, last year, where was it that it rained so much that they had to like only go for like a couple of laps and
oh,
then suspend the I don't even remember.
it was in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
But
Italy?
I remember when they asked some of the people around, it's like, okay, we can postpone it to Monday, but then all that we have to move for the next race is going to be, I mean, it's going to delay the rest of the
Yeah.
calendar and it's going to be a mess. So
Mhm.
that's why they did what they did last year, which I wasn't happy about it either. When they
Was
ran,
that was that at Spa because of the rain
I think,
last
I mean,
year?
it was over there. And I
It was
remember,
really bad.
yeah, I remember Hamilton saying that I mean, they should just give the people just their money back because they wanted to see some racing, and they didn't see anything but two laps behind the safety car, and that was it. So it's
Hmm.
like you said, this is a business of money. It's calendar. It's all about that, and I mean, that's you got to understand. That's why. I mean, that's the most. Not it is not the most important thing, but we know it's what sometimes rules over anything that's happening in the actual sport. So that's what it
Hmm.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just feels like it's a common theme, right? Like the NFL is not gonna postpone NFL playoff games or the Super Bowl, right? So why would Formula One decide to cancel like one of their most biggest, races that bring so much, exposure and money and things? And just, for them, it's like, no, we're gonna make it count. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. So the final thing I wanted to go through, I actually saw this little list here by lap cars, and thank you for them for this. Look at the maximum speeds by each engine. Look at the top six, or I guess the top eight, right? When you put in that the Renault engine is seven, and look where Mercedes 9 and 10, and then you look at the bottom of the grid, 15 through 19. It's all Mercedes.
Hmm.
It's like, yeah, Wolf
Something's
and the rest
wrong
of
with
the crew got
Mercedes.
work to do.
But do you think it's going to stay that way the entire year? I don't think so.
I don't think they'll stay
Mhm.
that way, but at the same time, it's not like they had 3 months like Ferrari did, right? Knowing that they weren't going to win anything starting in December, and they started working on the vehicle. And I feel like when not saying that Red Bull knew that they were going to have a much stronger engine because of the Honda, etc. And then Mercedes to me has always shown. I think Alejandro, you said it best. It's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Yeah.
So, eventually they'll get it going. But again, like this is unprecedented. Lewis Hamilton, getting out in Q1. Like that's weird. That's it's shocking out of more things.
Pretty unheard of for sure.
It's definitely unheard of. It's like Tom Brady not making the playoffs. It's like, what the hell is this? Like, whoa, what's going on here, right? So, all right, guys. Any last things before we shut it down?
You enjoy your game, Manny.
The Panthers are in Ottawa tonight. I'm actually at the arena. Disney on Ice just ended. Gave me a little bit of some good children music vibes. You know what I mean, for tomorrow.
Nice.
Oh, Mr. Russell, you have a huge task ahead of you, my friend. I wish you nothing but luck. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Hitting the Apex. We'll be with you tomorrow for post. I'm sure I'll be on. Jazz will be on. Vish is at a wedding, but he'll probably be connected with us just audio. He'll just be connected with audio because the Miami Hurricanes are now in the Elite Eight, and I have to hear about this the entire day. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go again. All right, guys. See you later. Heat Nation, relax. It's not serious.
Tonight,
calm down.
Pregame show at 7 p.m.
Pregame show at 7 p.m., guys.